Good evening, thank you for having me. I'm just getting over a cold, so bear with me if hey, no.
No, Mike, right here at the big camera.
No. So for you who don't know me, I'm Mike Fischer, I'm the Deputy Chief of South Central team. So Jerry asked me to say a few words tonight, so thank you first off for having me. Everybody obviously, got into this service for a reason, and obviously that's why we're all here today. Obviously everybody has a story. You coming up here? You can take it over for me. You want to talk? That's pretty much the thought that I had too. So obviously we all got into doing what we do for a reason. One of the big things, we're all volunteers, obviously. So everything's a little bit different for us. And it's, obviously we're volunteers, so we're not getting paid for anything. But it obviously takes dedication. One of the things, we obviously need to be a family. Obviously the South Central team and you guys from the Central region obviously joined the bond. We play sister to each other, but we also obviously have all become friends. Obviously, that's the main component to all of this, as well as obviously our families kind of have to support what we do. A couple years ago, Lisa and I were getting ready to go to a vacation, for lack of better words. Got everything packed up, we're getting ready to leave, getting ready to walk out the door. All 12 and a half dogs in the truck. It's finally packed for 6 months and we're only going for a week. Pager goes off for a water rescue. Obviously I kind of told her, hey, it's right over there. Like I can go hit this real quick and then we can leave. There's maybe a couple miles down the road, not just right there. But to make a long story short, obviously we were on the tail end of hurricane season, massive flooding. I was still the assistant chief at the time, so obviously playing duty officer, I marked up and I responded on the call. To make a long story short, that quick water rescue call right down the block turned into 8 water rescue calls, and it was like 5 hours into it. Phones blowing up, hey, when you coming, blah, 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 blah.
Because you left me at myself.
In and amongst all this that I was, playing my worldly chiefly position at, the fire chief asked, hey, can you transfer to my station? We're getting all these water rescue calls, the air was stripped, no resources, yada, yada, yada. Sure, we can transfer to the station, not a problem. So, at the point in time, it was just me and my lieutenant, real new kid, green, fresh out of the box, had never done any rescue yet, got all his classes, kind of was the redheaded stepchild of the department. So he brought the rescue truck up for me. I went in the duty vehicle, we transferred to this firehouse. Ran like 10 calls, Lisa's still blowing up my phone. Fire chief thanking us up one side and down the other. About 5 minutes into his spiel thanking us, we get tapped out for another water rescue call. Rolling down the road, he's short on manpower, it's just me and the lieutenant and the squad. Rolling out the door, came in as a guy trapped in a tree in 15 feet of flood water, needed rescue. So this kid's like freaking out, flipping out next to me. I've never done this before, what do I do? Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, listen, just put your shit on. We'll get there, just listen to what I have to say, I'll make sure you get home. Needless to say, and above and beyond what stories Lisa might have heard about this call, this is one of the calls where I just didn't come home because it was that high priority of a call. We pull up, urban area, wilderness behind it. Water is rushing through, probably the fastest water that I've seen in a long time, about 20 feet deep. The only reason that this kid was found, somebody walked out from one of the houses in the area. I don't know what that, smoked a cigarette, heard this guy yelling and screaming. I pulled up, all I could hear was screaming, but I couldn't even see this guy. I'm looking at trees, looking at all this other stuff. Faintly, probably I'd say half a mile away, blue shorts, he's clung to this tree. Okay, this is gonna be fun. So the fire chief's like, can you do it? Can you do it? We'll give it a shot, not a problem. So made all the fire guys take my boat down in the water, grab a boat, take it down in the water. We go down I looked at Dave Hughes, my lieutenant at the time, I'm like, your job and your only job is to keep eyes on him. I'll try and get us there. I don't want you to lose him. Just keep eyes on him. Get out there, and we're dodging trees, going through this area. Get up to this tree, yank the guy in the boat, took off. Got him back to shore. Before we got him back to shore, we were bouncing off trees like a ping pong ball, just trying to hit this guy. Needless to say, at the end of the day, he lived. Fire chief was ecstatic. His wife was ecstatic. Hey, you know, you did this, blah, blah, blah. The moral of the story was, obviously, you know, we came home safe, but had we have not been there, this guy would have died. Without a doubt. There was no boat anywhere close to us. Had we have not transferred, had that fire chief not had the insight to transfer us into that station, we would have never been there. We would have never been on call. That's what we do. Some of the last couple searches, one of which you guys actually were out on the Shippensburg. We've had success rates with these searches that we've come out to do. We've actually saved people's lives. The last one that you guys were at Shippensburg, had we not been there, I think I would have been dead, without a doubt. It's not like the fire service where we're pulling people out of front windows, fire blowing ahead of us. It's not like the high-tech water rescues where on the front page of the paper pulling people out of floodwaters. We went all night long, 14, 15 some hours throughout the dark, dealing with certain people that didn't want us there to begin with. It was the persistence of all of us in this room, some people that aren't in this room, that got me to him. Sure, I'm sure they would have found him eventually, but he wouldn't have made it to tonight. That's what we do. That's the reason why we do this. So we need to thank each other, number one, for the dedication that we continuously provide. But we also need to thank our families, husbands and wives for being there, girlfriends for being there. That, you know, hey, you know, we're supposed to be on vacation, but you're out running around in a boat for 6-7 hours. It's the same thing for all the other calls that we go on. We need to have that, and we truly make the difference. A lot can be said by that. A little bit different for us in the search and rescue world because we don't get on the front page of paper. We don't get that recognition all the time. Not that we should have to, but at the same point in time, we're the recorded stepkids of the emergency services. Police, fire, EMS, they get all the glory. They get that. They get that recognition. We don't. But at the same point in time, we actually make even more of a difference than they do on some things. It's not the quick fixes. It's not the quick hits, and we get to make a rescue and go home. A lot of times we're looking at searches 3 days long. I've been on searches that were a week long. That persistence brings people home. Not always is it a happy, fun time. Not always do we have those rescue searches where we actually, find somebody alive. But I can tell you, the last couple that I was on in 2018, we actually made a difference. And that's what means more to me than anything as far as the opportunity to continue doing what we do. So just think about that, reflect on that. We all get to the point where we get frustrated with all the politics and all the BS and he said, she said crap. But we need to look past that to the stuff that we actually, the differences that we do. So that's my story. That's where I'm at. Everybody has their own story as to why they're here. But we all need to be mindful of we can't do it by ourselves. Everybody has to be together. Here as of late, a lot of the teams, at least that I assist and belong to, we're starting more and more talking to each other and working together. Because at the end of the day, one person, but we need everybody to make it work. I'm sure Jerry can attest to this. I'm sure Dave can attest to this. Being the chief, you're just one guy. You're just the chief. Without having a team behind you, you can only do so much. I can tell people what to do and where to go, make the decisions all day long, but at the end of the day, if I don't have people to put boots on the ground and actually get out and do the stuff, that's what saves people's lives. That's what they do. So as officers, we look to you guys to put forth the effort to be here, to deal with our nonsense and crap day in and day out, but at the same point in time, truly, you guys are the ones that do all the work. We're just here to organize. So just keep that in mind. So just my thoughts for the night. Thank you guys very much for having us. We appreciate it. Thank you guys for the awesome support. We look forward to playing with you guys again in the future.